Financial planner Sanjeev Govila is a retired colonel from the Indian Army. After retiring, he studied financial and investment planning and now runs a thriving firm called Fauji Initiatives. His firm exclusively caters to the needs of the armed forces for financial planning. After spending around 3 decades in the defense himself, Delhi-based Colonel Sanjeev Govila took voluntary retirement in the April of 2010 and called it a day. He was 47 years old back then. But he was not done yet. During his years in the service, he had observed that just like him, his fellow army men had a singular focus, which was to serve the nation. But now was the time for financial planning, their and their families. Govila always had a knack of finance. Even when he was in the army, he recollects that many peers used to come to him for financial advice.
Armed forces do not have the ethos of discussing things about personal finance. It's not there. If you are the one who talk about money and all that, they say, "Yaar, ye baniya hai." Most of the people don't talk about it. Most of the people don't think about it. There's no discussion around personal finance, and hence nobody knows about money management. And last thing I would say is there's a lot more risk to life that is very obvious. That also makes a lot of things change there.
Colonel Govila's confidence in disseminating personal finance knowledge grew over time. 2 years before his retirement from the army, he decided that he wanted to become a financial advisor. And more importantly, he decided that he would become the army man's financial planner.
Fortunately, again, I was in Delhi. So I had access to good resources, etc. And I did a lot of research that if I were to take this up as a profession, what is the best thing to go about it? I came to know that the CFP, the Certified Financial Planner, which is administered by FPSB of USA in India, that was the best way to go about it. Being in Delhi and having my Saturday, Sundays off because I was in Delhi, so I could attend the evening, the weekend classes. And before I started my company as such, Fauji Initiatives, I had attained the CFP qualification, and I was quite clear as to what is the direction my company's foray into this financial planning field, investment field is to take.
Colonel Govila started attending weekend classes when he was posted in Delhi. Number crunching came easy to him. He got his Certified Financial Planner certification with flying colors. Colonel Govila was clear in his mind that he wants to start a financial practice focused entirely on the armed forces. Aside from his financial knowledge, what motivated Govila was some of his own experiences and observations when he was serving the Indian Army. It wasn't just growing financial acumen that motivated Govila to take up financial planning. He realized that he had made some terrible mistakes in his own finances, and the stories of other Jawans in armed forces were quite the same.
So the very first mistake I think I did was to invest without any kind of financial plan. And that is one thing I try and tell everybody: plan. If you don't plan, then you are, it is like groping in the dark. Something might come out right, and most of the things will not. Second mistake I did was combining insurance with investment. Now, insurance is insurance and investment is investment. When you combine the two, then you get the worst of both the worlds. I didn't know.
In 2010, after his retirement, Govila began drawing up financial plans for the people in the armed forces. But that wasn't enough. The big feedback he got from his clients was, where should I go to make the actual investment? That is when he got a mutual fund distributor license and established his firm, Fauji Financial Services Private Limited. Later, he also got registered with the Capital Markets Regulator, Securities and Exchange Board of India as an investment advisor. At present, Fauji Financial Services Private Limited, a 45 employee strong firm, manages about 3,300 investors spread across India and the world. The firm manages around 870 crore rupees worth of assets under management. Govila has now been spreading financial literacy to the armed forces and more through his firm that he co-started with his wife Bindu Govila.
The company was started with the sole objective of catering to armed forces officers and their close family members. And that is something even 12 years down the line we maintain. As a company, we deal only with Indian Army, Navy and Air Force officers, their children and their parents. We don't take anybody else. The only exception is widows. We don't differentiate between widows, between civilian and Fauji widows, because and we take them as our clients because I feel somewhere most of the ladies are not interested in personal finance, and hence when such a bereavement takes place, there are many unscrupulous elements who try to take advantage of the money that ladies get. So that is something that is the only exception we have.
Colonel Govila's firm, Hum Fauji Initiatives, also operates a not-for-profit arm which works towards generating financial awareness to promote financial freedom amongst the people.
Financial freedom is simply having the right amount of money at the right time when you need it. If that is not there, then you are not financially free. I also feel that to have this kind of financial freedom, you have to plan well, and you have to have goals. If you don't have goals, then financial freedom has no meaning. And lastly, financial freedom will always come from financial assets.
From serving the nation as a defense personnel to serving the supporting pillars of the nation, Colonel Govila truly portrays the heart of a Fauji. From fighting as a soldier to keep the nation's freedom intact, to working as a financial planner to keep the financial freedom of the people intact, Colonel Govila truly represents what service before self really means. To celebrating more unsung heroes like him this Independence Day.